Here's a warning to both Democrats and Republicans. Don't ditch Ukraine. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. At a terrible cost in casualties, Russia is gradually gaining ground in eastern Ukraine and is recapturing territory lost to Ukrainian forces a few months ago when Kyiv stunned Moscow with a push into the Kursk region of Russia. The chant in Washington and in most European chancelleries is that Ukraine can't win and that the sooner it negotiates a deal with Putin, the better. After all, this reasoning goes, Ukraine can't win a war of attrition against a country with at least 4 times its population. Moreover, Russia enjoys a significant superiority in weaponry. To say the war will eventually be settled by a deal is to state the obvious. The question is, what kind of deal? And here, the U.S. and NATO are foolishly ceding the advantage to Putin. Ukraine is hurting because we and our allies refuse to provide the country with the means to decisively set back the invaders and give Kyiv the upper hand at the negotiating table. Shockingly, the delivery of U.S. aid to Ukraine is down from what it was in 2023. Too often, promised weaponry is delivered late or not at all. Putin has been counting on war fatigue in the West to wrest ultimate victory in his war. As he gains ground, he'll be in a position to effect a virtual Kremlin takeover of the neighboring country of Moldova. From there, it is on to pressuring the small Baltic states of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia to be once again part of Putin's empire in all but name. Would Washington risk a war with the Kremlin if Putin made incursions into one or all of these members of NATO? Given Washington's always tentative responses to crises and some of the rhetoric on the U.S. campaign trail from both parties, the Russian dictator may well conclude it won't. That will enable Putin to put ominous pressure on Poland, the linchpin nation in Central Europe. Xi Jinping will be watching and will seriously ramp up pressure to end Taiwan's self-governance, perhaps by a blockade, or by starting to seize Taiwan's small neighboring islands, or perhaps by an outright invasion. Given all this, the U.S. must cease its self-defeating attitudes towards the Ukraine war. Russia is slowly advancing, but it is facing real manpower pressure. That's why it is hiring mercenaries from the North Korean government. The Kremlin may well be unable to achieve its 2 goals this year of controlling all of the Donbass region in eastern Ukraine and expelling Ukrainian forces from the Kursk area. Ukraine can decisively turn the tables if we supply needed weaponry and allow Ukraine to use Western-made missiles against targets inside all of Russia. Critical to changing battlefield conditions, the U.S. should immediately supply Ukraine with the A-10 Warthog. We're foolishly phasing out this extraordinary weapon. It is a proven, fierce attack aircraft that obliterates tanks and artillery on the battlefield. It would be a game changer in this war. Take the shackles off Ukraine and supply it with the A-10 Warthog and other weaponry it needs, and this war can be concluded with a deal that shows Putin and our other adversaries that the free world has the will to win, just as it did during the long Cold War. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.